Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of my tutorial. Now I'm gonna just log into my server in a moment. As you remember, I was able to create public-private key pairs, so I just wanted to, well, give you a little hint about it, because to be honest, all of those things that I'm showing here are just custom stuff. You just need to pick whatever you want to use and use it. It's not like you have to do all of this, because it's not like, I'm not considering this as some people say best practice. No, I'm not considering that this is best practice. I'm just showing you things that you can actually apply to your server. So as you can see, now I'm just trying to update apt or check if it needs to be updated. So the same goes for the key pairs. I just done it because it's convenient for me. If it's not convenient for you, don't use it. Stay with the passwords until you have strong passwords. That's fine. It all depends what kind of server you have, and if you're the only administrator, you can use a key pair. If not, now let's see what kind of ports we have opened again. So as you can see, sudo ss minus atpu. So for a reminder, because I was talking about it previously, but just a quick reminder, with this command you can always check what kind of ports are open. UDP TCP, yeah. In a moment I'm gonna show you something else regarding netstat. I think netstat is quite useful as well. You can use it in many different things if you need to. Well, this is the actual command. This command is like if you want to remove, for example, you saw on this list that some kind of, let's say, I don't know, some kind of service is listed here that you don't want to actually this part with this service to be open. So you can, with this actual sudo remove and then the name of the service, you can just remove it. Okay, so let's do sudo nano etc hosts.conf. Be careful with this one, because you're mangling and tangling with quite a different story here if you're changing something. I'm just gonna show you like a few things that you can do actually. So let's start with this order and bind. So it's gonna be bind and then hosts. And here we're gonna go no spoof. I don't know, to be honest, if it's really needed, because I would have to read more about it. We're gonna see just after I'm gonna start putting some commands if it's needed or not. If not, you can always come back to this host.conf and just turn off the spoof. I'm gonna have spoof protection either way, because I'm gonna show you in a moment how to do it. But previously I always done it. I don't know, I'm gonna see if it actually needed to be done. Okay, let's install nettools. So we're gonna have actual netstat. So sudo apt install net-tools. Now we can use netstat. Like I said, netstat is pretty fun. You can do netstat tunlp, and there you go. Shows all the ports that are listening, all the connections. Since I don't have many services here, like I didn't install, I don't know, quite a lot, so these are the basic ones. Another one, netstate-a, shows all the connected stuff. As you can see, you with netstat -a, you even have the feeds. So those numbers that you can see next to the connected, or if it's black actually, netstat -p. What does it show? Well, it shows also the paths, the feeds, the inodes, so more distinguishable thanks to that. Okay. Let's check another one then. Netstat -u. Well, this one actually shows UDP connection. Okay, and it's established, so it's my connection to the server. Oh, as you can see, I have a bad command, no spoof on. Okay, so I just have to go back to this host.conf and just turn off the spoof, because apparently it's not needed anymore. Right, so let's check netstat -d. Alright, TCP. Now it shows my connection to the VirtualBox and my computer IP. So established connection with my VirtualBox and my server. So from my computer to the VirtualBox on the TCP. And next, netstat -r. Well, here we have like, let us check. We have all, I think, default. ENP0S3. This is my interface, of course. IP addresses netstat -g. Oh, okay. Right. Well, to be honest, nothing special is going on around here, because as you can see, I'm just connected to my server, so there's not much to show here, at least with the netstat at the moment. But these are basic tools that you can use. Let's do now sudo nano etc sysctl.com. So here we will actually do some work regarding the security stuff. Well, we'll see. I think it will be beneficial. Let's check. First of all, we need to uncheck this, because it's actually spoof protection. So uncomment the next two lines to enable spoof protection. Alright. Next one we would have to look for is the Icmp Redirect. So to prevent man-in-the-middle attacks. Should be down there somewhere. Because I think nope, nothing here. Packet forwarding. Enable packet forwarding IPv4, IPv6. One thing I haven't done yet is turn off the IPv6, which I'm gonna show you later on as well. You can easily find the command on the internet, of course. There you go, man-in-the-middle attacks. You need to unhash those two. It all depends on you again, of course, if you want to turn off IPv6. If you want to, you can do it. If not, that's fine. And the last one, Do not send Icmp redirects. Okay. Well, not the last one, but the next one, I should say. Okay, after that we're gonna go for do not accept IP source root packets. Yeah, this is also gonna be needed. Okay. And the last one we're gonna do the log Martian packets. Right. Okay, I think that's all. We can save it. If you want to read more about sysctl.conf and what all of those actual commands here mean, like commands, not commands, but all of those things in the configuration, what they mean, like this spoof protection, like those Martian packets, or the well, man in the middle. I think everybody knows what man in the middle attack means. But like those blocking Icmp redirect and routing packets, stuff like that, maybe. If you want more info, you can find it online. I'm not gonna be babbling about it too much. No point. So, well, to be honest, that's all that we needed to set here. Well, now I think it's time to go to Fail2ban. If you don't know Fail2ban, you should, well, actually befriend it, if I can call it that, because it's very useful. So let's do sudo apt install Fail2ban. The thing with the Fail2ban is when you install it, it creates directory where you have like two main configs. You have like Fail2ban config and you have jails config. So it would be wise if you want to change any of them, the jail config or the Fail2ban config, if you want to make any changes, just make a copy of those and call them, I don't know, like fail2ban.local or jail.local. I'm just now installing Vim because I wanted to show you this first one, the jail config from Fail2ban, how it looks in Vim. Since Vim can show how many actual paragraphs there are, I'm gonna list them in a moment and show you how it looks. This jail config is quite extensive, to be honest. It's has like, I don't know, 800 or maybe more lines in it. So there you go. We're in this main folder of Fail2ban. There you go, jailconf and the Fail2ban conf. Two main configs. Why you need to make the copy? Well, not to fuck up, that's one thing. And the second thing, just remember when there are any updates done, they might rewrite the jail config and Fail2ban config. So keep that in mind if you're doing anything. If you leave them be as they are, don't be surprised that something went wrong at some point. So backup or copy. Okay, what else I wanted to talk about with Fail2ban that is so important? Well, yeah, like now I'm showing you how to do it. It's sudo cpjail conf jail.local. So basically I just now copied the jail config. Right, so we're still here. Okay, so we managed to copy our Fail2ban jail.config. We have it here like jail.local. You can do the same, of course, as I said, with fail2ban.conf. Okay, so let's just check sudo now fail2ban, how it actually looks. Well, it is it looks like this. Looks like this. This is the basic configuration file. What do we have here? PD file, socket. To be honest, I never actually changed anything here in this one. I just left it as it is. If you want to read about it, of course, there's like tons of stuff regarding this configuration file. I always left it. If you want to change something in here, you can always do it, of course. But let us check our actual jail.local. Okay, so sudo nano jail.local. Okay, there we go. So maybe first of all would be in order to say what actually jail means, because basically this configuration has jails in it. Jails are well, they are what they sound to be, so they are jails. They they are well for specified for different services. So let's say for Apache, for SSH, whichever. All of them are actually listed, of course, here in this configuration. When you go down to the jail section, these are actions. Jail section, it should be here. There you have all the jails. So SSHD, Dropbear, Apache, yeah, a lot of them. Really, quite a lot of them here. Nginx. You can actually enable a jail, so make it work by typing here enabled equals true. Just remember to type enabled, not enabled, because if you type enable, it's not gonna work. Common stuff, so some people do it from time to time and they say that something doesn't work. Well, just a misspelling problem happens. Okay, but coming back to our jails. As you can see, I have already uncommented some things and I've changed them. I'm gonna talk about them in a moment. Okay, so as I said, jails are just like a combination of filters and some form of action that is gonna happen. Let's say with SSH, if you enable an SSH jail, you change the port, of course, to Fail2ban, because Fail2ban needs to work with the. It works with the default port if you have the default port with SSH. But if you change the port on SSH, you need to change the port on Fail2ban to work properly. Because the thing is, if you in SSHD config, like I showed you previously, you change the port for whatever, like I did for 666. I need to change the port here as well. Otherwise, you can install Fail2ban and it won't work properly. It won't even manage SSH like it should. So just remember about that. Like I said, well, those jails, for example, let's say somebody's trying to log into your server. You have like 5 times that somebody can log into your servers to your server. After this 5th time, the person is banned, of course, for a certain amount of time. So this is what actually the jail is. It's like cause and the effect. So somebody does something and it causes something. So well, I wanted also to warn you about changing stuff here in this config. Remember, if you want to put a jail sorry, not to put a jail, enable a jail, just remember that you need to enable jails for services that you have actually installed on your server. So don't enable jails that you're not sure about or are linked to something you don't actually even have on your server, because at the moment I don't have Apache on my server. I don't have Apache installed on my server. I can just show you what would happen. Let's just get out of here for a moment and let's do sudo systemctl status fail2ban. As you can see, the Fail2ban service is running. It's active. Everything's fine. But let's just say that I would enable one of the jails right now that's connected to a certain service, but I don't have this service at all at my server. So do this. Enabled equals true. Yes. Okay. And let's check status. Active running. Okay. So let's just restart. Okay. Let's check. As you can see, after the restart, the service failed. Well, why it failed? Simple. Because you actually put a jail on something that doesn't exist. In my case, at least, it doesn't exist. So just remember about that, because you might be wondering why it doesn't work. Well, that's why it doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna clear the screen. Just go back to the config. I'm gonna take that out. A long way. Okay. Yeah. Since we are here, I'm gonna just go up a little bit and let's start gradually with things that I have enabled. Okay, so I have enabled IP. I ignore IP. I have, as you can see, put here the IP of my my computer that I'm basically connected with SSH to the server with. So if, let's say, because this is basically a whitelist, every IP address you put here, Fail2ban, even if somebody logs in 10, 20 times with a bad password, won't ban it. So remember about it. Let's say right now I had a situation that I forgot the password or whatever. I'm trying to log into the server. I can't. I failed miserably like 5 times, 10 times. Okay, I'm still not banned. Everything's fine because my IP is here. So it's like when this is uncommented, those things don't apply basically. So because here you apply a ban time. So of course, if I now logged in from a different IP number and I logged in 5 times and I logged in bad, then I would be banned for 30 minutes. Of course, you can change that to whatever you want. It can be even 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, whatever you want it to be. Right. This next thing, find time. It's default 10 minutes. You can also change it if you want, and max re-entry. So of course, how many times somebody can actually try to log into the server, and after how many times he will be banned. So default is 5. You can change it to 3, or I don't know, so whichever number you want. Well, but that's the basic thing about it. Okay, so if I wanted to show you how to actually unban somebody's IP, well, to do it, I would have to make certain changes in my SSHD config again, because I would have to turn on the password authentication, which we turned off. Then I would have to comment this stuff, probably change something else, because now I'm logging in only with my public private key pair. So I'm just gonna skip this stuff. I'm just gonna show you the command how you can unban somebody's IP, and where you can check up all the banned IPs that are. Let's say somebody wanted to log into the server. He failed. Somebody wanted to attack your server. He failed a few times, right? Where are the logs? Where you actually can find the logs that are connected to Fail2ban that will show you what actually happened, when it happened, from where it happened. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that in a moment. Let's just go out of here, save it. Just gonna restart it quickly. Status. Okay, fine. Right, so I'm just gonna copy and paste. It's gonna be a little bit faster, I hope. Okay, so we got sudo fail2ban dash client status. There you go, status number of jails 1. So we have enabled our SSHD jail. If we go with client status SSHD, then you have like more particular information on SSHD jail. So let's say I logged in like more than 5 times with a bad password and I was banned. So here at total ban you would have 1, so me. Let's say I was just trying to log into the server from a different computer. Currently banned, it would be 1, and the banned IP list, here you would have my IP address. So how now you could unban my IP address? Well, I'm gonna show you in a moment the command. Gotta just check it up first, yeah, I forgot, there's one more thing we should actually do. We need to go back to our jail.conf. So I'm gonna do this. So there you go, local. And now let's go to SSHD. We're here at SSHD. We're gonna put here enabled equals yes. And here we need to change the port. So the default port of mine was 666. If you didn't change the port and you left it on 22, then it can stay like SSH here. But if you change it, remember to change it to whatever port you changed. So here just enabled equals yes. There we go. Got it set up. Let's restart our service. So let's go restart Fail2ban. Now let's go status. It's running. Okay, fine. Like I said, if my IP was banned, it would be listed here. So unbanning IPs. Okay, so maybe because I should actually show the logs as well, because there is quite a lot of logs regarding banned IPs. Okay, well, unbanning IPs. So basically, you're gonna put in sudo and then fail2ban dash client set SSHD unban IP. And then you put the IP address that was banned. Of course, when I do it right now, it won't do anything, because as you can see, unbanned IP is 0, right? Because no IPs were banned on, like, for this example, let's say, on this IP address. But basically, that's how you unban somebody. Okay, let's go to the logs, because this is very important. So first log that you would have to check is, of course, Fail2ban log. Just gonna copy and paste it. Gonna be a little bit faster. Okay. So this is our log. We can use cat, we can use nano, maybe nano. I need to do it with sudo again. There we go. So this is the log. As you can see, there is everything. So there we go. Starting Fail2ban, server start, connecting, database, creating new jail, SSHD. So basically everything that you've done is shown here. Change. So ignoring my IP that I've done. SSHD jail started. Yeah. So we're gonna see if we can. Well, actually, I'm not gonna find anything regarding to the banning of an IP address, because nobody was banned. But if somebody was banned, you would get here, of course, the notification about it, that somebody was banned. Yeah, nope. Okay, so that's the first one that you have to take care of. Okay, so let's go back to our logs. So the second log you need to take care of. It's quite important actually if you want to check what's going on with Fail2ban. And then I think it's gonna be, let's try the syslogs. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste and copy. There you go, this is the syslog, sudo cat varlog syslog. There you have quite a lot of additional information if you're gonna need it regarding Fail2ban as well. Okay, so this is the second log. The first log is Fail2ban, then syslog, and the last one is authority log or authentication log. There you go. It's sudo cat varlog authority authentication.log. Can use cat, nano, midnight command, or whichever. So there you go. You can see here that I'm actually connected. Oh, there you go. It's like Fail2ban is working on my SSH as well. So here you can also find quite extensive part of information regarding your connection to the server and Fail2ban as well. So those three logs are the basic ones that you need to know if you want to work with Fail2ban. Okay, so if I remember, I've showed you all of the stuff regarding the unbanning. How you are supposed to you can unban somebody's IP address. It's fairly easy. So I think now, well, there is one more thing that should be noted if it goes to Fail2ban, because all the banned IP addresses are saved, and I'm gonna just paste it in this directory. So just keep in mind that you have to, from time to time, delete those. So this is the directory, and even if you clear all the logs, Fail2ban will recreate all the banned IPs out of the database after every service restart until the ban time for the IP runs out. So if you have like tons of banned IPs because somebody was trying to hack into your server or get into your server or whatever, they are gonna be unfortunately recreated every time the service starts. To clear the whole Fail2ban log and every banned IP from the database, you will need to do the following steps. And it's a good method to reset Fail2ban 2.0, resetting every banned IP. So just follow me on this. We're gonna just clear the screen, take care of this, and first we need to stop Fail2ban. So let us do sudo Fail2ban client stop. Okay, second thing, we're gonna truncate all the stuff. Next, we're gonna remove from var library Fail2ban this. There we go. And now we need to restart Fail2ban. Okay. Well, as you can see, the service is still down, so let's try. And now status, and it's running. So that's the basic thing that you will need to do to get rid of all of those IPs that are just thrown in the logs and they are kept, because you don't want to pile them up, otherwise your log is gonna be just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and nobody wants that. So okay, so I think at the end of this small Fail2ban tutorial of mine, I'm just gonna show you how we can create let's say one jail that we can add to our configuration. So let's open jail.local, and let's add a jail of ours that is gonna be called recidivist jail for all the recidivists. So let's add it here. I have it prepared, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Okay, let us see. And there we go. It's gonna be our jail. So, as you can see, jail for more extended banning of persistent users. Warnings. Make sure that your log level specified in fail2ban.conf.local is not a debug level, which might then cause Fail2ban to fail into an infinitive loop, constantly feeding itself with non-informative lines. So bear that in mind. And the second one as well. Okay, so this is our recidiv jail. To enable it, of course need to do enabled equals true. There we go. This is the log path that the recidived jail uses. Ban action, so ban the ports. Ban time 1 week, fine time 1 day. So basically, if somebody is very persistent and tries to log into your server too many times, he's gonna be banned for 1 week. If the same IP is gonna try like many times, it's gonna be banned for 1 week. Hopefully that will keep the hothead out of your server and out of your hair. So this is like a basic jail configuration. Let's just save it. Okay, so I think that is all for Fail2ban. At the end of this video, I'm just gonna also post some like optional jails that you can use. I have like few of them, so I will just post them. You can use them if you like. Just remember, you have to put them on your own risk. Just make a copy of this jail.conf and fail2ban.conf if you're trying to change some stuff in either of them. And yeah, I think basically that's gonna be it. At the end, I think I could also add something about IPv4, IPv and IPv6, maybe IPv6, because some people tend to disable IPv6 on Debian based distributions or at any servers. So you can actually disable your IPv6 fairly easy. I can just copy and paste all the stuff regarding the IPv6 stuff if you want to use it. Again, it's only if you actually need it or if you're gonna use it for anything. Oh, nice. There we go. Need to log in again. Great. I guess I was thrown out of my web. I need to connect again. Then I'm gonna try to show it to you. Sorry about that. Happens sometimes. There we go. So basically, if you want to turn off IPv6 on your server, you only want to have IPv4, you can basically go with this. So basically all of this stuff that you have here. I think of course you can find some other things regarding IPv6 like easier than this, probably even one-liners, and just to turn off the IPv6. This is just one of them that I found, and I also use it from time to time if I need it at my servers. If I decide that I don't want to have IPv6, you can use those commands. Okay guys, I think it's gonna be enough of my babbling for this part. Well, I think I covered quite a lot of things. One thing one thing I didn't show you that was also connected to Fail2ban. It's of course optional. It's because Fail2ban also has its own stuff regarding the firewall, because it has its own how to call it rules that are inserted into the IP tables firewall. But I think we will cover some IP tables in the future parts. So for now, I'm just gonna say that it is there. So if you don't know anything about IP tables, I'm gonna show you a little bit, probably in the next part. Check out my parts where I show how you can log into the Debian server using PuTTY and SCP, WinSCP as well. That's gonna be also as an optional video addition to this tutorial. Okay, so once again, thanks and see you soon.